Hey everybody, it's Jane from Chalk Mercantile and Surface Anthology. Good morning. Good morning. It's about 10:15 here in Connecticut. And I want to continue with our little Halloween plaque. Last we met, I did some tea staining just to kind of knock it down a little bit. I used DIY paint in vintage linen. I love, love, love this color. And the antiquing glaze. Now what I want to do is a little decoupage, but before I do that, I'm going to make one of the birds because I want to have some bird mold going across my plaque. So I just want to get this one started. And I bet you everybody knows how to make a mold, right? Little cornstarch. Brush that in. And I have a dedicated brush for this. I don't know where it is. All right, give it a smack. And then grab my clay. Keep your clay. Hey, Kim, I'm continuing with a it's like I call it interpretive. It's like interpretive dancing, interpretive crafting. I'm not really an accomplished crafter, but I'm learning. But I'm making like a Halloween plaque, something with molds, decoupage, painting effects. So yeah, something. And I have a 5-year-old grandson. He loves this stuff. And by the way, everybody, Kim, I am in Kim's membership. And yes, that's crafting, right, Kim? Can you tell everybody what the name of it is that I'm in, making videos? And I have to tell you guys, I met Kim. Kim, how long have we known each other? A couple of years, right? In a group we belong to. And Kim is just, I call her the Facebook queen. And she's really, really helping me to kind of up my Facebook game because, I don't know, it's just like this weird creativity gone wild. I love that. But Kim, share the name of your free group because I'm also, and I gotta do some videos in there. I'm in this group and it's wonderful. But the one I'm in that I really love, and I've been taking, and Kim knows, working through some courses that she's offering that are fantastic. Profitable Crafter, yes. And what's the other one? The Profitable Crafter. It's incredible. Kim just knows her stuff. And if you go to Kim's page, Farmhouse Craftaholics, and look at her numbers, you'll know what I'm talking about. So Kim, you are the queen of that. And Kim also teaches in a way that she knows how to talk to me because I could be a little bit of a squirrel brain. Like my crafty projects, right? All right, you guys. Here I put all my clay on my mold, and all I have to do is grab, and I use the transfer burnishing sticks. They work really well. You can use a credit card. The thing is, don't use anything sharp because you will very quickly ruin these beautiful molds. And these are really nice molds. They will last forever if you take care of them. So I just want to release the bird here so I can get it started drying. And I do use the paper clay. I love the paper clay. If you're interested in like resins, my friend Joni at Weathered Wings is the resin queen. I don't know, it's just not my thing. I love that I'm using paper clay. But the nice thing about the resin is that the paper clay can be a little bit delicate. When you glue it down to furniture, it's fine, but it could be a little delicate. A popsicle. I'm a squirrel wrangler. That's, you know what? That's it. And I'm a squirrel. Right. Farmhouse Craftaholic Friends. That is her free group, and I really encourage you to join that. I got to get in there more, Kim, and Kim is the one to, you know, encourage me to do that and you know, do some little videos in there, release my crafty side, right? All right, here is our mold, and all you do is bend it like this. And there is our bird. Isn't it fabulous? Upside down. Now, I use a cookie cooling rack to dry. And this works so well. I got this at Goodwill for like $2. So that's going to dry. But now let's continue with the decoupage. I'm using, and I have this in my shop, Tim Holtz new Halloween decoupage paper. It's gorgeous. I'm glad you're laughing. Oh, Kim, thank you. You know me, I love my paint finishes, and that's kind of where my roots are, right? Furniture painting. But we can use all those techniques when we're making stuff like this. Now, I am not going to lay this down with these straight edges. The kind of unfortunate thing about Tim Holtz's papers now, they used to be made on big rolls, like wax paper size rolls, and you would just get this endless roll of beautiful decoupage paper. And he kind of cut those in half. But fear not, I have a plan. I just have to decide, do I want that red flower in there? It's very dramatic. I think, and if I have my birds kind of flying through, and they're going to be black. So I think I want it like this. Let's give it a shot. Oh, I love that, Kim. Anything we know is transferable to being creative. Absolutely. All right. I've got an artist brush, and I'm just going to take it and kind of make a water line that I'll be able to tear my paper easily. Because this is just too straight. So I'm just going to go in. Well, first thing I'm going to do is cut. Just get rid of the end here. Like that. Right. And then I just want to kind of go along and make this. See, this, I hate that this gate got cut off. I just love it. But that's okay. All right. And then I need to cut off this side. Like that. And I'm going to go over this again. Because this paper has a little bit of a finish on it. And now I'm just going to resolve down there. And then all I do is just pull this off. You see, and it just tears away. Just like that. And I need a little bit more. Oops, a little bit more right there. One of my members of my membership showed a beautiful technique this morning using tissue paper, cheap tissue paper that you would get for wrapping, you know, the insides of gifts and stuff. And it was beautiful. Like, people are so creative, right, Kim? It's like, I think everybody is. Everybody's got a little bit of creativity. And usually it's more than a little bit. All right, and I just need to soften the edge of that gate. Like that. And you see what that does? That just softens that. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Actually, because it has the family mourning down there, I might leave that And then if I want to soften it more, I could go in later and layer on some more decoupage. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, what I'm using for my decoupage medium, and this is something that we studied this month in my membership, is matte sealer. I want to see if it's going to work. So this could be a total disaster. So hopefully it won't. Yes, that's it, Kim. Kim is saying about creativity, if you let yourself be, right? Hey, Shannon, if you just let yourself be, that you can be astonishingly creative. Right. And if we don't overthink stuff, right, Kim? If we use that other part of our brain, you know, stop the analyzing and worrying and anxiety. And yeah, it just is the best. Okay, I'm just going to pour a little bit of this out. I usually don't do this because it's going to fill this part of it. I usually stick a tongue depressor in and drip it over. But because you know what's going to happen when I put this lid back on, it's going to be attached. But I can deal with that. Okay, got that down. I really want that family morning to be right there. So now I'm just going to take my brush and brush on this is a matte sealer. This is not a decoupage medium necessarily, but we're going to use it that way. And I'm being really liberal with this. I'm going right over our painted finish with our tea stain. If you guys want to know how I did that, you can just go to my YouTube channel, Surface Anthology, and you'll see that it's a tutorial. Craft therapy. I'm early today. You know why, Shannon? I have my little grandson coming over. Now, I'm just laying this down and spreading it out. It does just bite, the paper just bites right into this. So my grandson is coming over, and he is a very, very active 5-year-old. And let me just tell you, it's raining out, it's dark, and I think it's going to be a library day today. I think we're going to go to a library for part of the day so he could look at the books, take some out. He loves to read. He loves to read me books, and I make believe I'm taking a nap. He is too cute. All right, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of putting that underneath where I messed. Boy, I hope this works. These edges where it's kind of bendy, let's see. There we go. I'm just brushing it down. Same thing on this side. I'm just going to fold it over. It will work, right, Kim? We used a product, I used a product called, by DIY Paint called, what is it, Crystal Clear Chandelier, Shannon, by DIY Paint. As I said, it worked really well. And people use a lot of different things. They even use white glue, like Elmer's. Now, I gotta pull away some of this extra here. And there it is. I love this paper. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I really do. It's like way beyond Halloween for me. Yep, there it goes. Isn't that beautiful? It's just a really beautiful paper. Shannon, I was saying I wish that the gate on the paper wasn't cut off. I just love that gate. I'm one of those people when I'm driving around with my husband, you know, I'm like, look at that. And now I'm putting the matte finish, by the way, over the whole top. But I will stop and take pictures of people's houses. There's a house near us in a town called Glastonbury that's got houses from the 1600s. It's got a fence that is like a piece of art. It's just, I just can't, I mean, it's all these hand-carved finials, and it's incredible. So, yeah. But look at that. Beautiful. And as I said, I softened that top part. Right? Down here I left it because I love that it's got, you know, all the writing, the family mourning. But on top I softened it because it just, you know, it just didn't look good. And I hated that fence was cut off. But there it is, and it worked. The gate is a showstopper, right? I know. Oh. But you get the effect of the gate. Now, let's quickly, I'm going to put my brush in water. Don't forget, right? Let this dry, and I think it has worked really, really well. We used rice paper in our membership, or I did in the workshop for the membership. It definitely goes on super, super flat, and I suspect because it kind of breathes, right? And this has a little tiny bit of, I don't know, wrinkling or puckering. I like it. I know I had somebody on YouTube complain. She says, like, if I decoupage like that, it would be a disaster. And I'm like, well, that's the good thing about, you know, art, right? Being creative. We can all do what we love, right? And the way that we want to do it. I laughed. Oh, my goodness. But here's our bird. And I'm going to have these swooping down, painted black. So get ready. So I want to have this one kind of swooping in. And I realized, and this is my dyslexia, I envisioned them coming from this side down. And it might be that when I did the mold, it was the other way. So it was in my head. But they're going to be coming from this way down. And remember, you guys, with these molds, while they're wet, if you want to sculpt his beak to be a little bit pointier, his head a little less round so it's not so friendly, right? We associate a round shaped skull with like innocence and childhood. Did you all see that picture of a baby peacock that I knew immediately with long eyelashes that I knew was fake, right? But they give it a round head. So if you want to make it a little bit more ominous and scary, you can kind of, you know, make his head more, I don't know, shallow, right? You're not afraid of a few wrinkles. Kim, me too. Me too. Absolutely. They add character, right? Oh, Shannon's saying, yeah, thanks, Shannon. It is beautiful. He does a really nice job with his work, Tim Holtz. He really has a great aesthetic. I just wish he would bring back, if you're watching, Tim, bring back that wider rolls of decoupage paper. They were incredible. Right, Shannon, get working. Before we know it, you guys, it's going to be Halloween. And then you know what happens, right? So anyway, these are going to be painted black. And I realized I might have to do something like this, right? Have them swooping in, but I can't wait to do it. And then the other thing I'm going to do, and this is going to be tomorrow morning, we're going to get into, because, you know, the mold, putting them on, placing them, is do something around these edges, right? Something to make these darker, more moody. And I've got this really nice little carved out or routed detail. So I'm going to do something like that. But for now, I'm loving how this looks, right? And it's drying. So definitely give this a shot. And try that wetting technique where you, and Shannon, I don't know if you saw this, I ran a brush of water over to pull away the paper. I think my friend, I saw Tammy do it, or somebody during a live told me to do that. I love it. Danielle! Danielle's saying, I've been screwed up a little. Yes, you've been screwed up with the directions of the mold sometimes. Yeah, because you see it one way, right? It's the same with the inlays, right? The paint inlays. I made that mistake once where I designed it with the actual painted part that would be applied down, up, and my whole design was reversed. So you have to be really careful. Right, it's the opposite from what they appear in the mold. Absolutely. To us and our projects, character. Absolutely, Kim. Everybody, check out Kim's group. It's in the comments. I'm going to be going over there and doing some basic technique tutorials, like little quick tutorials, you know, because people do ask me over and over, you know, well, how do you use this thing? How do you make a mold? How do you do this? So it's good to see that so that you can move on to the more complex stuff, right? And get all that technical stuff out of the way. Yeah, the inlays can be brutal. You can't mess up the transfers, but you can really mess up the inlays for sure. All right, you guys, my grandson's going to be here in a few minutes, and it's raining, so we're going to be at the library today for part of a day. I haven't really been in a children's section since my kids were little, so I'm hoping there's a lot of stuff for him to do because he needs to move. And I will see you back here again tomorrow morning, and my mold will be dry, and we'll be painting them black. And then I think before we lay them down, I'm going to place them. We're going to address this edge and make it really kind of dark, moody, and, you know, old. Hey, Sandy, I'm leaving. So make sure you watch this in the replay and join us tomorrow. I'm not sure when I'm going to be on. It's probably going to be around 11. And I'm sorry. And I know, and this is something that Kim is trying to, you know, get into my head, being consistent. So I'm really trying, you guys. I'm going to have to like put it on my schedule, as they say, right? Oh, thanks, Shannon. We're going to have fun. I hope, I know he's going to find a bunch of books. And then when I go up to the adults, you know, if I could keep them looking at the books, I could pull out a few for myself, right? See everybody soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy